Konnichiwa and welcome everybody to Chron Reviews. This time it's another Madoka Figma from Puella Madoka Magica, and this time it's Sayaka Miki, which are Madoka's best friend and a fellow magical girl. And her package are blue. Now this one, as I know it, includes both a cape in cloth and a cape in PVC. And compared to the index Figma, this one I can actually change which one I prefer. So I'm looking forward to see which one is the best option as well. And the box art are nothing special as such, but it's still quite clean and stylish and in line with the other Madoka Figmas. So you can see a picture of Sayaka on the side, and there's of course the poses and stuff on the back, and the neutral Figma side, and the picture of the figure on the top as well, and the same picture on the bottom. Alright, Sayaka Miki from Madoka opened up, and I must say the likeness are really good, and the sculpture, it's also really good. And the likeness is, as said, very nicely done. And the paint job are for the most part very clean and nice as well. There are only, however, a few parts where the paint have been a little bit messed up, like right there. So the line is not as smooth as it could have been. There's a little bit white paint here. That seem to be mistakes. I have had similar things on Figmas before, and I guess every one made can't be perfect, but that gives a little bit minus on the paint job. So I just think, I hope that not everyone have that. Anyway, for the most part it's really brilliant, like those golden lines and everything is really clean, and the face and everything is really clean as well. The articulation in this one have of course ball jointed head, a torso joint that works very nicely, ball jointed arms, elbow joints and jointed hands. There's also leg joints, you can turn to the sideways, ball jointed legs, knee joint and ball jointed feet. The skirt is made of soft PVC to follow the movement, but it's a little bit more stiff than the usual material, so it limits the legs slightly. Now on to the fabric cape. It's combined with a PVC part, and there are wires inside here, so you can post it up however you like. And that's a good add. However, I'm not usually a fan of the fabric part, and I think the index Figma, it worked better. However, for those who do not prefer that, can have this PVC one that's in a fixed pose, however. But if you can live with that, this is the part for you. There's also of course Figma bag and the Figma stand. And there are a set of hands, of course. There are two more hands here, but I have pre-attached two of her swords on those hands because I tried it out, because sometimes it's pretty tricky to put the hands on, so be careful to not break the hands or anything. But those are actually only 2 out of 8 swords of that type. So she have 8 swords. Not only that, the swords come with stands, so you can attach the swords like this and have them just like with Mami's rifles. I think it's supposed like this. And there are 8 stands, so you can actually place all 8 swords in a row. And there's this extra piece for the Figma stand that's used for long hairs, but in this case her cape. And there are 2 different faces, this shouting face for battles and stuff, and this happy face with closed eyes. So this is quite a plenty of accessories, but that have been the trend for the Madoka Figmas, and a really good ad, to say the least. Alright, there she is, Sayaka Miki posed up, and I chose to add the PVC cape because that's what I prefer for figures, because they should be more like sculptures. Since this is not a doll, I prefer it this way. So what can I say? To sum this Figma up, it's nicely poseable, and to have the fabric cape is a nice touch. Unlike with Index, who can only use it. They should have had a shift body for Index. However, I should not complain about that. The only thing, the drawbacks about this Figma must be that the PVC, soft PVC skirt are slightly more stiff than the usual material, so it's slightly hard to pose up the legs. And also there were a few painting mistakes on this one. However, it's only if you look close, so I can't complain too much about them. On the areas where the paint have not been a little bit spilled out, it looks fantastic. So basically speaking, it had a few flaws, but it's still a very nice figure, and I guess that every one of those produced do not have all those flaws. So now for a show of the full cast with Madoka, and Homura, and of course Sakura, and even Mami. There you go, the full cast from Puella Madoka Magica, and they look really nice together. It's a very colorful and well put together cast. I must give the creators of this anime that, and everyone have their unique designs and unique personalities. It's a really good show, and they have really good characters. So now that's all that remains is the school uniform versions of Homura. Why did I remove Sayaka? That's part of the review. Right. The school uniform versions of Madoka and Homura, and I plan to get them later. But for now, this is the full cast, and I hope you enjoyed this review of Sayaka. So until next time, sayonara and take care.